is this, since LaFell seems to...
No, I mean, like, legit, if she asked me, like, will it work? And I'm like, I don't know. Good.
We've seen a lot of things so far in MWI.
Oh,
we've seen a lot of things, and we've seen a lot of those things work. We've seen a lot of them,
Here's the thing, man. With the right mindset, all of it works.
You can do anything.
Novaria jungle, it's not even a question. The answer is just yes. But with that being said, we're jumping into this game. And yeah, looking at the composition here, coming in from Net Angels, it's really all about fighting, man. Like 1, 2, 3. Like, they got 3, 4 fighters here. They only have a Novaria to provide them the support. So I'm really looking at Net Angels. Second turtle, man. Second turtle, that's where they want to pop off.
Ooh, already a lot of damage on to Vanilla there. Brought down to about 10%. Might have to go home. Yeah, gonna have to go home for that one. Team Falcons Vega already shown some aggression, and I think when it comes in term of mid lane, Funi and Thal are gonna have some rotation advantages. Ku, Cassie, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble. We did see, we saw the Phoveus back in MSC, and it did perform well against the right compositions. There are a lot of dashes here. As long as Cassie can get through this early game, get through this laning phase without taking any deaths, be able to get some farm in, there are definitely some possibilities for it.
Let me just say, this is already like not great for Net Angels, because if you look at the draft, everything has priority, but they're not really having priority at this point because the Hayabusa is farming a little bit better compared to the Julian. Because again, look, you got fighters everywhere. You should be winning the lane, but it's not happening so far. So that power spike is not being used all that well just yet.
Ooh, Cassie already taking some damage. Should be okay. Now, what I will say for Net Angels composition here, because it's all these fighters, you're going to have kind of this box around Ku here. Ku needs to be careful how far back she actually goes, because it's going to be the perfect target for Melee. And if everyone else is diving forward and Ku's just sitting in the backside waiting to line up that meteor shot, Melee's going to have the perfect target to lock on. Also, another big thing that Net Angels need to watch out for when they do that big engage is the reaction from Thal and the reaction from Violet. You get caught by one bad implosion or one bad final slash, you're a little too grouped up, it could definitely spell death. With Thal already pushing away Halang there. Vanilla keeping a good position in front of this turtle, but Melee already gets first blood. Down goes Helene. Violet now trying to lock up. The implosion does lock on to Vanilla here. Vanilla not going to be able to even fight for this. At this point, they're just trying to get away, but no, Helene gets a nice enhanced chains, able to back off. Melee able to get the turtle. Penalty zone does lock in. Thal, Violet, Funi there as well. Trying to lock on to Cassie. Demonic Force does proc, but Cassie as well just wants to get away. Ku looks for the meteor, isn't able to get the final hit on.
Hey, good job on play by playing that one, because a lot was going on around the map. Like, it was very messy coming in, especially for Net Angels, where honestly, this is the kind of draft where you almost just shut your brain off. You see someone and then you go for a fight. But looks like Team Falcons Vega, they roughly understand how to play with this kind of composition, because they just focus on one target, let possibly Melee to just get an advantage, get the kill, and now she has, honestly, like the Hayabusa having more farm and one kill here, it's not going to look good for Net Angels.
Sakoshi looks for Thal there. Zamon's Force does drop. The implosion locks on, and Sakoshi might not be able to get away from this one. Jinda gonna be able to lock on, get one more synchro fission down, and gets the kill. Thal escapes with just a sliver of health. And this is something I'm a little worried about with Net Angels not having a marksman, right? Where does the damage come from? Is it gonna be Cassie? Is it Vanilla? Is it Ku? How do they even, like, when do they hit their power spike? When do they actually get online here?
Honestly, it's going to be all on Vanilla. It really depends where the Vanilla wants to go for. Oh, hold on.
Nice knock up. Hands chains, does look on, and in comes Cassie with the Demonic Force. Not able to get another proc. Jinja able to just get away.
And again, going back to Vanilla, it really depends on her itemization. If he goes for a Genius 1, then pretty early on that you can go for those fights. But if Vanilla, and I kind of want to suggest it, go for a Holy Crystal, you're going to be the main damage dealer for this one. And your scaling is going to be a little bit much better, because you're going to control the turtle onwards.
I think it's very fair, and I think there's a lot of possibilities. There is one good thing about Net Angels, they do have some CC here. And when they do get into the late game, Ku could become a problem, and Ku's staying safe at this point of time. We're seeing some of those snipe shots lock on. The damage isn't quite enough to get the finishing blow in. And even Sakoshi on the Ruby. We've seen Rubies actually start to pack a punch when the game gets going. So we'll see the possibilities. Team Falcons Vega Don't want to just give up this second turtle so easily. Melee able to just come in, steal it with ease, but look at the implosion, look at the demonic force. The damage unloading on both teams. Vanilla is the first to drop, and now the demonic force continues to unload. Melee still fighting though, somehow pulls out safe with the triple kill, but Cassie doesn't let him go away freely. It's a 3-for-3 turtle over to Team Falcons Vega though.
I mean, here's the thing that I said. Is the second turtle. This kind of lineup, you're waiting for the second turtle for you to really fight this one. If they were able to secure it, then it would have been much, much better. You can see how Thal honestly should have turned things around with that amazing implosion, but because this is a lineup that has a lot of ways to defend themselves, they don't really rely on someone else to give them the protection, makes it so that even if they get caught, it's still fine, as long as you have at least one item, which we saw Cassie got a little bit later. But again, now Cassie having that Clock of Destiny makes it so that Team Falcons Vega now will have a difficult time taking down Cassie. Looks like Vanilla is going for that Genius 1 route, so the damage is going to be there a little bit earlier. It's just that the burst isn't going to be there when you're starting to fight around the board.
The fact that Cassie's now 2-0-1, could become, I mean, that could end up being one of their major damage dealers. You know, that Phobius could end up being a big problem. But look at the conceal play, locking on to Violet here. Violet going to be in a little bit of trouble, locked in by the implosion and taken off. Sakoshi goes down. They keep on getting those ganks into the bot side. Net Angels needs to find the answer to it. Teams Falcons Vega just out-rotating.
Yeah, at this point, Takoshi really needs to think about just being a little bit safer here because, again, even though she's not a marksman, you have this mentality as an EXP laner. You want to go for the trades, but it looks like Team Falcons Vega, they don't care if you're Ruby. They still see you as a marksman, and they're coming for you. But to be fair, comparing Ruby to maybe something like a Beatrix, you don't mind going 0-3-3. She still has her War Axe during the fights. She's still very much usable. She has a lot of ways to deal damage, not through just pure damage, but sometimes even with just the crowd control, it helps out a lot.
Very much. Now with third turtle up and Vanilla up in the top lane, Net Angels going to have to just give up this turtle. Up on the top side though, Vanilla might be in a little bit of trouble. Final Slash able to connect. Demon's Force drops, and there goes the damage. Enhanced Change able to help him get away. Helene comes in with a penalty zone, but Melee doesn't want to let anyone escape freely. Shadow Kill does go off. Ku able to flicker away. Implosion locks on. The Demonic Force locks on as well. Coming down. Bang, bang, bang. Looking for more targets, but gets the shutdown. That's 2 for 1. Cassie doing everything she can right now, but it's still not enough.
Can we talk about how fast Team Falcons Vega is moving around the map? They do look like Falcons, just going here, going there, finding these pickoffs, and is making it Net Angels. I was saying they're pretty tanky, but 1v3, when you're not moving, when all this crowd control is on you, looks like nothing much can be done. Looking at items here, looking like Terizla is going for the more tanky route, not going for that War Axe early. Kind of feel like he should have gone for that so that they have a little bit more damage in this kind of composition, because even the Phobius, the Clock of Destiny is the only magic item. Afterwards is going for that dominant eye. So yeah, the damage looks like it's going to only come from Vanilla unless they go for a War Axe soon. Yeah,
Vanilla, I mean, the gold deficit's starting to get there. Same thing on the rest of the map. It's 5,000 for Team Falcons Vega. Cassie did pick up Clock of Destiny. Picks up half of the Dominance Ice. So there's some possibilities there. But I think at this point, Net Angels might just need to start grouping up a bit more. We're seeing Vanilla kind of run these off lanes, trying to macro a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. And kind of like what we saw in the last series, even though it didn't work well from Xeno Lilies, you might just need to bide yourself a little time and look for that 5v5. I think their composition will work much better if everyone's together.
Yeah, Trikes, my friend, do you agree that for today, looks like one of the major problems looking at most drafts is that they don't have enough damage, right?
And it's an aggressive meta right now.
It is an aggressive meta. And it looks like Team Falcons Vega, they're actually pulling around Net Angels because they're showing Hayabusa up top. It's like, hey, I'm here. You guys want to group up? You guys want to take me out? And then Chinchao just starts getting turrets everywhere. So Team Falcons Vega, they're pulling Net Angels around. It looks like Net Angels are the one getting netted.
Yeah, they're the ones definitely getting controlled right now, being a bit more reactionary to just what Team Falcons Vega want them to do. And now with the Lord up, Team Falcons Vega with a strong box controlling this pit. So the Echo does come out, so nice vision over to the Net Angels. Maybe they can get a position on this Lord.
I feel like they got to go for the pickoff as well, because if they try to fight for this Lord, Paul has a flicker. right? If the Tigreal has a flicker, it can go lights out very fast. So Net Angels, they got to take this calculatively. Like, they have to prepare to sacrifice one. Who's going to be the one sacrificed?
I don't know, but right now, Cassie tries to come in, but look at the damage coming out. Lang able to take out Funi Meilane, finds Sikoshi. Cassie still on the chase with an Onic Force, but it does not lock in. The Meteor does miss, but now Thal might be in a little bit of trouble. Echo comes out, look for one more shot. Helene trying to lock on, and Cassie gets the final blow. Vanilla now drops to Zmon's Force does drop out from Chincha. Violet now up against Cassie. Chincha there as well, trying to help out. Cassie just wants to get away. Ku trying to give a little bit of slowdown, a little bit of help, a little bit of peel. Cassie able to just get away. Lord still up. They're battling so far apart. It's 2v2s all across the map.
Yeah.
It's not a big 5v5. They split up and they attack.
Yeah, they just have partners. And like, okay, you do that, I do here. The problem is Team Falcons Vega, now the Hive has a Holy Crystal. So good luck tanking that much damage. The Lord can dance around. Meilane, you got to do this. Meilane, Vanilla, it's on you guys.
Meilane does get locked up and taken out. Vanilla able to get the Lord in multiple kills. Ku takes him out as well. Cassie with a kill for herself. It's a three-man wipe and a Lord over to Net Angels. They need to translate this into as much as they can, but look at the beautiful implosion. Chincha drops him as Zmon's Force. Cassie down. Chincha, Thal, save the day, but still Net Angels not done just yet. They lost Cassie, but 4 members still standing. They take the inhibitor. They move forward, and the Lord still coming up the top side. Team Falcons Vega pushed back into the base. Another tower drops. Sikoshi able to take it. Net Angels not slowing down.
Dude, this draft here, again, having a lot of fighters, having one goal in mind. Having the mindset of, I'm going to attack you as much as I can, and you're going to be the one to go down first. Vanilla now having the Holy Crystal, it's going to deal holy damage, because even Lane, the fact that Lane during that Lord fight got the War Axe. We got to talk about the timing there. Getting the War Axe so that you can stack and then start having more damage and more sustainability makes it so that Net Angels can actually deal enough damage against Team Falcons Vega. Cassie, honestly, throughout this game, is slowing down the tempo, right? Cassie, oh, before that, Violet.
Violet maybe a little too deep. Demonic Force does get procced, maybe a little bit too early. Thal able to come in. Cassie looking for more targets. Penalty zone locks onto Violet, locks onto Thal, and Vanilla cleans up the pieces. Demonic Force still going. It must feel like an eternity at this point. Falcons Vega push back to the base. All there's left is inhibitors.
Let me just say, Vanilla is playing so well, using this Julian as the main damage dealer for the team. Everyone else is just distractions, right? They're making sure that Team Falcons Vega doesn't get away, just so that Vanilla is able to use the enhanced scythe without getting punished. But still, with that being said, still able to hold on to that enhanced sword, just in case if those crowd control doesn't actually hit on the right targets. And
Meilane, you know, what we saw in that last big Lord fight, right? This has been kind of the answer to a lot of Hayabusas. You wait for the quad shadow to proc, and then right when the Hayabusa comes in, if you can just catch him for that split second, it's GG's. We saw it happen to Nicolette a whole lot. She was having problems every time she'd quad shadow in before she could even hit the shadow kill, because the deal is normally you want to get the shurikens off in shadow kill, but if you're able to stop Meilane for just a second, you can get enough damage to get the kill.
Oh, looking at Meilane now. Probably going to be able to run away because the quad shadow is still there. Looking at itemization here. Radiant armor on lane, making sure that you can actually survive going up against Chincha as well as Funi, as well as having that Queen's Wings, make it so that you can stay in the fight for a very, very long time. Looking at the itemization coming in from Net Angels, it's really about sustaining. We see Oracles, we see Queen's Wings, making it so that you're able to outplay Team Falcons Vega when your HP is super low.
Most definitely. Now Lord up. Does Net Angels have the advantage on this Lord at this point? It has the game completely turned into their hands.
As an assassin, it's going to be hard for you to really contest for the Lord just because you can't tank the damage that the Lord deals. And Net Angels, we got to remember that War Axe has a stack. They can hold on to their stack for a very, very long time. So they actually do quite a lot of damage at this point during the Lord dance.
Another person that we've kind of failed to mention, but Vanilla's been doing great. But look at Ku, 2-0-7. We're 15 minutes in. Those meteors are going to start hurting a lot more. The vision also getting applied gives Net Angels this great advantage when it comes to especially objectives like this. Thal, though, looking for the play, looking for the lock-in.
Yeah, again, just be careful of Thal. having that flicker, you kind of don't want to risk this. And now we see the concealed play being used, and then you reset the Lord. So that's one thing out of the way. Now you got to force the flicker out, and then Net Angels have a good time going for this. Oh, but Maylene finds Vanilla. Vanilla able to get out of there.
Yeah, Funi also takes a bit of damage, though. Now we're back to the tango, man. We're back to the dance.
Again, I feel like it's fine for Net Angels here. They can heal up, so it's all good. And they kind of have to do that because it's all about the trigger finger. Who's going to go first? Is it going to be Thal, or is it going to be Net Angels here?
Yeah. Helene also, I mean, it's got to be tempting when you see them all grouped in that jungle to pop the penalty zone, but the patience coming from Helene right now is going to be crucial. Same thing from Violet, looking for the final slash. But here comes the shadow kill onto Cuckoo, able to get away though using the flicker, and that is going to be a utility down. Helene able to lock on to Thal. Here comes the demonic force. Trigger has been pulled. Can they get the final blow though? Can they find the kill? Down in the mid lane though. Chincha getting the push in. Gonna move on to the tower as well. Boo trying to go back. Vanilla doesn't want to stop as well. Thal taking damage. Thal goes down, but Chincha's on the base. Chincha's on the base, and Koo can't defend. Team Falcons Vega with a cheeky mid lane steal. Not like this.
There was 2 towers. There's the tier 2, there's the base towers, and then she went and ended in one wave. Not like this, man.
Damn you, Chincha.
Dude, this is...
That's what Leo would say.
Maybe this is the answer. You want a Lord dance? I'll just end the game. There's 2.
That's always the answer.
There's 2 towers. If the base turret was not there, I get it. The tier 2 was there. The base... Chinchao, man.
The timing, it was almost like it wasn't improvised either. It was almost like it was playing like, because once the trigger was pulled, that's when Chinchao went. And because they were so invested in that fight, there was, I mean, Koo could go back, but...
It's like you say, Udala and Ajasi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right? You understood, right? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, with that being said, now we're going to throw it over to Mirko and Cherna. What do you think about that ending?
That was iconic Chinchao play. That was iconic Chinchao play, man. You give her the Claude, you give her the Roger. She's never actually done it on a Harith before.
Nope.
But you know, it's the first time for everything.
Oh my goodness. What an amazing decision to make there in that position. Because seriously, all right, let's talk about the replays first. We're getting ahead of ourselves, right? Because there were a lot of great skirmishes back and forth from Team Falcons Vega, also from Team Net Angels. And this was one of the big fights that obviously Net Angels kind of miscalculated in. And this happened a lot in the early game where whenever they kept on going for the fights, it would be Team Falcons Vega winning it out. But this is the big blunder from Team Falcons Vega. Already losing Violet, still holding onto the Lord for some reason, and then committing onto it, not letting it reset, forcing a response from Net Angels. But at that point, Net Angels are very okay with the responses that they can make. They can just be like, all right, you want to fight? We can fight. And again, a lot of the fights here, it just feels like for Falcons Vega, they're very amazing mechanically, right? But when it comes to a lot of the baiting out, the feinting, that's when they get beat out. Because in that particular moment, the bottom side of the map as well, they wanted to bait out the demonic force. They baited out, but then they were kind of confused. They were like, wait, do we continue fighting when the demonic force is up, or do we just back away? Because the real answer would have been 100% back away, wait a bit, and then jump back in. With no demonic force, Funi saving her own IMU demonic force would have been so much more value to actually go for the fight after those cooldowns and those frames have been already used up.
But what did you think about the possibility of that split push from Chinchao? Was that a miscalculation on Net Angels' part? What went wrong for them there?
I think for me, I'm definitely, you know, I'll be waiting for the telestrator later on to really draw things. But even while we were watching that, we were talking about, well, I was mentioning, Hayabusa should be the one going bot, not the Harith. Harith, yeah, I mean, throughout the game, by the way, let's talk a little bit about how they have set up and how they made that decision. Because throughout the game, it was the Ruby in the gold lane who can't really stay in the gold lane, always want to look for fights.
And it makes sense, right? So let's crown our PlayStation MVP right now. And I mean, everybody was like high-fiving, hugging Chinchao. So is it Chinchao? Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look. Okay, there you go. Team Falcons Vega, Chinchao on the Harith, on her signature Harith, pulling her signature iconic move. I think at this point, right, a lot of the teams, a lot of the players out there should just be very wary of this play. The fact that you will always be unable to count Chinchao out no matter the hero that is given to her. Because that shouldn't have happened, right? Okay, let's say it was a inhibitor turret. That makes a little bit more sense, but there were 2 turrets left.
That's why you have to respect the magic damage gold laners in their ability to siege, because I think if this was the old MLBB, you wouldn't be able to see the split push happen all the way from the tier 2 like we mentioned. But I forgot which patch exactly this happened, but you deal extra damage as a mage now. You have a lot of damage to actually siege. So heroes that go for Feather of Heaven, that go for base damage plus attack speed on the mages, you can still go for a lot of the big sieges. And again, we'll get through it later on. We'll get through how exactly they played around it, because it's going to be really, really cool. I think it's amazing how they decided to go for that. Let's go back to the fundamentals. Let's continue. Hello, Harith. This is a real cool guy right here. Ended the game. High five? No?
Okay.
He's too cool for us.
Yeah.
He's too cool. He's just there. But let's go back to fundamentals. When you pick a Ruby in the gold lane, you're really built for fighting. When you pick the Phoveus in the mid lane, you really wanted to go for the fights, right? So in the mid game, I think after the first turtle, it was coming into the second turtle, the Ruby was always out of lane. That was what gave Chinchao the moment, the opportunity to get tier 2s, to get tier 1s on the side lanes. When she got the tier 1 in the bottom lane, she rotated up top as the turtle spawns in the bottom side, just constantly mirroring the maneuvers of Net Angel.
I don't understand. Can you show us?
For sure. Let's take a look at it right now. I don't know if you guys can see it just yet right here, but there you go. Now, this is a bit further into the game. We were talking about the mid game earlier. But the main concern for me was the fact that Hayabusa, I feel, should have been the one really managing the side lane there, managing the one in the bottom side of the map, right? Just pay attention to the map here, because the Harith, you can't expect the Harith to go back and forth around the map that fast. And that's why the adjustment was just beautiful from the Harith. She went from the gold lane, which she was trying to go for the split push, by the way, through the gold lane. This was the moment where she was looking for it, right? Here, and then she tried to rotate. She decided to rotate over to the mid lane, which is closer to the fight. So at this point, the Harith will be able to continue joining into the fight through the mid lane. I want to draw an arrow. That's from the Harith's direction, but she can also continue to push in to the base right there, as you can see from the map. The moment that we have here is the moment where Tal kind of got picked off all alone. She used this to kind of make a moment for herself to force a lot of the fights to happen here. And as we play through the clip here, we'll see how they were able to actually stop all of the members from recalling. Tal gets picked off right there. You can see it, right? And then they decide, you know what? Let's start poking them down. Harith gets rid of the tier 2. Like we mentioned, with the changes of the mage, you can actually now deal so much damage to the turret, and I believe here, she does pop the Zaman Force as well. And then the rest of the team, the fact that they sent the Novaria instead of, all the other members, just goes to show you that technically, none of them can really get out. None of them can really back away. None of them can disengage except for the Novaria. They're all-in heroes. They're all built to fight. So when a moment of forced error happens in that way, it's just very, very difficult for any of them to react. And whoever does react won't even be able to withstand the 1v1 dual pressure that anyone... I mean, at that point, they could have sent the Hayabusa. It really doesn't matter. Hayabusa, Harith, both of them would have been able to 1v1 Novaria, no problem.
It was absolutely brutal. And I think even you mentioned it in-game, right? They have to keep adjusting, right? They have to adjust. They can't play into what Nagels really wanted them to do. And at some point, it clicked. And then that's when things kind of went really badly for Net Angels. But talking about bad, ladies and gentlemen, I have just gotten confirmation that the key crush will happen now.
What?
Now.
Oh, man.
It's
not ready.
So
okay.
We'll take to that.
Right now with Team Vitality, congratulations to all of you for winning your first knockout match. Now I gotta ask you though, how does it feel to get to crush the key of your opponent? Where's the key at? Where's the key? There it is. How does it feel to be able to crush that?
This system is very interesting. We had never experienced a system like this before, and getting to be able to crush the opponent's key is, of course, very heartbreaking for them. And the thing in my mind is like, I hope our key don't get crushed like this. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, I hope that your key doesn't get crushed too. So there could be another key you'll be crushing in the next round. Team Falcons Vega or Net Angels. Who would you rather face and why?
We would actually like to face Not Angels because we have faced Falcons Vega a lot of times in the past, but we are fine in going against both teams, and we are fine in crushing any of their keys.
All right, that's a great way to end it. So we'll wrap it up there. Congratulations to Team Vitality.
Thank you, Vitality. Thank you, Reptar. She said it was interesting. Imagine this. Imagine if Falcons Vega, I mean, they are at match point right now,
They
right?
are.
If they take another game off Net Angels, and then they would be the one, well, either or, right? Either
Yeah.
Falcons Vega have to crush Vitality's key, or Vitality would have to crush Falcons Vega's key. And both being regions from Indonesia.
Absolutely.
Is that considered, like, bad?
I mean, it's good and bad in a way, right? Because at MSC we saw the same. Falcons AP brand, crushing TLP
Oh,
HSP
that's
too.
true.
It's good and bad. I think in a good way we get to see who deserves to represent Indonesia more, right? Is it going to be Vitality or is it going to be Falcons Vega? But first, Falcons Vega have to beat Net Angels. And even in that game, they were kind of struggling. The fact that they had to rely on a split push instead of going for the team fights, the adjustment, like you mentioned, was amazing. By the way, just savage Vival there saying, yeah, we would rather go for Net Angels, but we don't really care. We'll smash anyone. Okay. Just casually saying we're the best without saying it, indirectly saying we're better.
Let's hope it's okay for them, though. Because the last time a team got confident like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, by the way, I just wanted to let the viewers know that earlier on when we went into the drafting phase, we saw that it was Namira.
Yeah.
But maybe there was like a really, really sudden swap in roster that Helene was actually the one in the EXP lane for Net Angels instead of Namira.
And it actually kind of makes sense, right? Because we were talking about, Hlang, she likes to play with the Terizla. She likes to go and initiate. And we saw the Terizla and I'm like, that looks like Hlang. And it was Hlang. So,
It
hey,
was.
glad that was right. Unless, Namira, obviously, I think everybody can play Terizla, but it's a different way that she tackles it.
So coming into the second game, what do you think the adjustments need to be made? Because definitely Net Angels, they want to stay in this game. They want to stay in this tournament. Because don't forget that prize pool, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't been talking about it quite so much, but 500k USD is on the line right now. And so that brings us back to that question, right? How do they come back? How do they take this off Falcons Vega?
I think number one has got to be, I think in game number one, it was a great idea for them. The fact that they went for, I would say it's a cheese draft, right? They went to go for team fights. It's very one-dimensional, and that was the reason Falcons Vega was able to punish it. In game number two, go back to the normal meta. Go back to what is meta. Try to play for the gold lane as well. Just get a marksman here. Try to play for a balanced composition, because even in the group stages, we saw impressive stuff from Net Angels. And again, considering the cheese didn't work out, maybe it's better to go for the safe route.
Wait. If this is correct, there's another swap
What?
in the EXP lane. Am I seeing this right? Okay. That should be Namira. Yeah, Namira is playing officially now for Net Angels. There has been a swap, ladies and gentlemen, from game one to game number two. How does this change our drafting phase now?
Well, I don't know. I still think Terizla should be pride for them. They started off the draft really well. I don't think they should change too much here in the draft, at least for the first phase. They're also still on blue side. They're going to ban out the chip. It's going to be the Ruby ban this time around. So it's actually Falcons Vega having a bit more trouble against the Ruby. They think, hey, we're a team fighting team. If you need to force us to go for side, like split pushes, we don't like that. We'll do it, but we don't like that. We'll still stick to team fights, so banning out the Ruby there is amazing. Jushin gonna be banned out this time from Net Angels. Interesting that they don't leave it open for themselves as first pick. It's Falcons Vega now. They decide Ling, Ruby ban. Do they want to take away the Julian? Do they want to take that power away from Vanilla?
What about the Hayabusa? Contest it? Valentina's the option?
Yeah.
All right. So essentially, Luo Yi is up for grabs.
It is.
Angela is up for grabs. Terizla is up for grabs. What would you prioritize in this scenario?
I think for me, it's either Terizla or Angela that you would want to go for as first pick. I don't think you want to go for the Hayabusa first pick, but we have seen that before. I think we saw that from Falcons Vega when Caramel was playing Hayabusa first pick. They still go for the Terizla here. Falcons Vega, they can go with this same exact answer with the Harith and then the Hayabusa, and then later on the Arlet. But knowing that they banned out the Valentina, is it possible that we want to go for, the Faramis, or perhaps an Angela? So maybe Harith Angela or Harith Faramis, or another hero with a big ultimate that I did not mention, Mr. Tor, Mr. Minotaur.
Yeah, he was banned in that first game, right? In the first phase, but they left it open this time around. So insta-lock here from Falcons Vega to pick that up for themselves. And wait, what would you think about this, right? Faramis and the Terizla. Do you think Terizla is like a deny pick for the Faramis to be picked up?
No, I still think Faramis is... I understand. You clump up, not good against Terizla. But either way, looking how Falcons Vega play, they just really like to clump up, right? So having another additional HP bar would be still okay for them. But looking at the fact that they got a Minotaur, maybe they might just want to go for the Arlet there as their last pick in the first phases. Net Angels go for the Terizla and the Julian again. Now they go for the Phoveus early. And this is good for them because the Valentina was already banned out. That was the real answer by Falcons Vega with the Valentina towards the Phoveus. My question is wait, this Phoveus is going mid again, I assume, right?
It should.
Okay.
Either, unless we see a gold lane Phoveus.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. The Phoveus gets bullied hard by Harith before level 4. You need level 4 before you can actually do anything. They decided to go for Luo Yi. I was thinking if they want to go crazy too, they go Esmeralda mid, bully the Phoveus, but it's a bit too crazy.
Okay, so their choice is the Luo Yi here. A little bit more burst damage, a little bit more control the map. I mean, if they want to look for an option to go in for that split push again, they definitely can with the Luo Yi and her entire global map presence. Second phase though, Arlet was not prioritized here. Arlet was not picked up. They picked up the Luo Yi instead. So that does give Net Angels a chance to ban that out if they want.
Yeah, but I think Net Angels kind of want the Arlet to be picked up. They want someone that will be constantly dashing. Now, the fact that Falcons Vega went for Luo Yi means that technically only the Harith will be proccing that Demonic Force, right? We'll be giving that Demonic Force proc. So now, they actually ban out the Fredrin. So yeah, they don't really care about the Arlet because they want the Arlet coming in from Violet.
That's
Angela.
peculiar, is it not? Fredrin ban?
It is. It is very peculiar, especially in this meta. Especially considering me personally, all of us, we haven't seen Mei Lane on a utility jungle, right? We've seen her on Assassins, on Roger jungle too. But knowing how, technically now, there's not a lot of Assassins up. The Hayabusa is still there, but I believe for Net Angels, they kind of want to go up against Assassins. They don't want to go up against utility because the same reason as why they want to go up against Arlet. They want the Phoveus to have as many procs as possible with the Demonic Force. He needs to be air Phoveus, just jumping in the air.
So the two heroes that Milena has utilized so far is the Roger,
Julian,
which is Ben,
mm-hmm.
and the Nolan, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because of the dash.
Yeah.
So no Nolan?
I think it's difficult to play the Nolan here. Into the Julian, it's difficult. Into the Phoveus, it's extremely difficult, and that's why they ban out the Exborg too now. Really pushing the buttons. I mean, basically, in the XP, they're forcing the Arlet. In the jungle, they're forcing a non-utility. They're forcing an Assassin so that they can get as many dashes as possible. For Falcons Vega, they still need a physical damage dealer. They go for the Edith. That is going to be XP. Who's going to be the physical damage dealer at this point in the jungle? I'm trying to think about it. I don't know, man. It's really tough because when you think physical, you think Assassins, but Assassins are what Net Angels want with that Phoveus.
So they're leaving it for the last pick.
Yeah.
They're keeping it secret. Meanwhile, Net Angels, they pick up the Claude to deal with the Harith in that gold lane. Martis doesn't work.
I think the Martis can.
Alpha?
Oh, the Alpha is a great answer. Yeah. I think it's a great answer. They just need a bit more physical damage at this point. Because if they go Baxia, that's so easy for Net Angels to atomize against, right? They go for the last pick. Oh, and it's a Masha. Speak of physical damage. Not Angels.
I'm so
They're
confused.
full
right now.
damage.
I'm so confused.
Okay, why are you
Because
confused?
in game number 1, it was Namira,
Uh-huh.
and then she picked up Terizla, and it turns out it was Line.
Absolutely.
And now it's Namira, but Masha's Line's hero. So, guys.
Hey, I think the Masha should be going Roam. I think this is Roam Masha and mid Phoveus. I think. But it obviously can rotate to the XP2. We saw Terizla Roam just earlier.
Yeah, we don't know at this point.
Not a big fan of it. Oh, they still go for the Hayabusa. I guess they're still trusting that Shadow Kill to be a way for, you know, Mei Lane to get out of the Demonic Force, even if she dashes forward. But yeah, this is it is an interesting draft from both these teams.
Interesting draft, and it's match point right now for Falcons Vega. One more game away for them to move forward and crush the hopes and dreams of their opponents here. It's a high-stakes match. Can Net Angels come back from this and force a game number 3 in this best of 3? Casters, take it away.
Thank you very much. An interesting draft indeed. I actually do agree. Honestly, me and Trex were talking about it, and the Alpha kind of looked pretty solid for Falcons Vega, but they still want the Hayabusa. I'm just worried if the Hayabusa is able to chunk down a lot of these very high HP, very high armor heroes as we jump into the Land of Dawn, where this game might be scrappy again. Will we see another split push?
You know, I think the Hayabusa could definitely have a few problems chunking people down, but one thing the Hayabusa will be great at is securing some of these early objectives to make sure that Jincha and Funi get to a point where they can start outputting damage. Even if Mei Lane isn't exactly the one to reap all the kills, they have other options. I think Mei Lane's major job here is going to be objectives, right? You shadow kill in, you steal a turtle. You're always kind of comfortable with that. On the other hand, Net Angel, the composition is definitely interesting, a great way to put it from Mirko. My question to you is, do we think they're thinking too far outside the box here?
I feel like based on what happened in game number 1, what they felt was the concept was there. Their draft was good. They just didn't have an answer for the split push. So this time, incorporating the Claude into this idea of a fighter in the mid, as well as having a roamer that can actually deal damage, maybe they're like, we just needed a Claude. When we have the Claude, we should have taken the game.
Oh, Sakoshi's going to go down in this one, though. Shadow kill comes in. It's going to be a lot of gold plating over the side of Team Falcons Vega. And as you just said, this time they have a Claude. But right now they do not, and Team Falcon Vega knows it. They know, all right, Claude's your answer. Well, we're going to handle that very early on.
So we're looking at a second Turtle 0-3-3 gold lane? I mean, that's what happened in the previous one.
Definitely going to be problemsome. Sakoshi's going to have to keep up with Chinsha. We've seen, I mean, from group stage and now, Chinsha has definitely been a performer. Even back on day 1, I think it was, my vote was for Chinsha's lead MVP of the day. Has just been great, especially on the Harith. And if Sakoshi can't keep up, it's going to be an issue because we know how Harris can do. I mean, you drop down the Zaman's Force and you just start cleaning up. Luckily, they have Cassie to kind of answer that. But as we saw from last game, Cassie takes a little bit of time. Here goes the knockup, though. The onward, the Earthshaker, Violet. Going to take a little bit of damage in return. Demonic Force able to lock on, get the kill. Violet might just be next on the block. Demonic Force drops one more time, but Cassie can't get the finishing blow. Knocked up, taking out Violet with a double kill. It's 2 for 0 right there. What looked good for a second ended horribly.
I'm sure Koo wanted to go for that because 2 members were so low. And yeah, this is very good for Team Falcons Vega because before that, Violet, where you going?
Oh, the thunderclap. Nice kill over to Vanilla there. Gonna get the knockup, gonna get the takeout, so at least they find something.
Yeah, but again, I kind of like Violet shouldn't be there, honestly. But now we're gonna look at the replay here, and this is going to be a problem for Net Angels because Falcons Vega, they have the Minotaur and they have the Luyi. In this one, the Luyi was caught out, but if the Luyi had safe space, the Luyi can control multiple members of Net Angels, especially because they want to group up. But oh, another kill.
Another kill. Sakoshi down once again. Cassie trying to help out. Not going to be able to proc another Demonic Force. Able to get it at least onto Thal. Koo wants it, wants something, but can't seem to find it. The damage still not there, especially as a roamer.
Yeah, here's the thing. You got to wait for Vanilla. If Vanilla is there, the damage is going to be there. Sakoshi, 0, 2, and 0 is going to have a hard time because you want to get that 3 items sub 10 minutes. It doesn't look like it's going to happen here because. But with that being said, only a 600 difference. It's not that bad, right?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
4
Now
minutes
it's
in.
700. Okay, now it's 800. It's
not
like
that bad. It's
not
getting bad.
It's not 1,000.
Might be soon.
I
There's
mean-
some gold plating about to possibly come over to the side of Jincha here. All right, so where do we take it from here? Turtle going to be back up. Second Turtle. Net Angels were able to secure the first one, which at least kind of staunches the bleeding here. It's only 1,000 gold lead over to Team Falcons. All of that seems to be in Chincha's pocket. So as long as Chincha stays down here, the rest of the team can fight for these objectives.
The problem is how you handle the Minotaur is you catch the Minotaur. You start the fight first, but there's really not a nice way for them to lock them down. Oh, as I say that, the mirror goes in.
Penalty zone does lock on Demonic Force as well, trying to get to Booney. Another shot. Cassie might be able to get the kill, but Cassie's going to come back. This time Demonic Force onto Thal. Ku able to get the kill this time. Melee also involved. Shadow kills away. Cassie still on the chase, looking for one more proc, but the ult wears off. Vanilla able to get the dash through. A little bit of damage onto Violet. They're going to revert back to the Turtle now. Melee, does she want to re-engage onto this? No, going to go over to the purple buff. Let him get the Turtle.
So I was right and wrong, right? You have to deal with the Minotaur first, kill him off. In my head, I was like, I don't know how they're going to engage and lock down the Minotaur, but Thal stayed for a little bit longer than she really should. It's like once you deal your ult, you just hover around just to give the heal, not really stay there and take the damage.
Koshi just getting denied so much right now. That's a tough lane, man.
This is not a gold lane experience.
This is not a gold lane
This is
experience.
not a gold lane experience, let me tell you.
This is not a good experience at all. I'm not having fun right now, guys.
It's like, do you guys want to play gold lane next? Let me be roaming. Let me be mid. Let me be mid, you know? At this point, look at this setup. They want to catch someone, but I'm guessing the Mira is not the one they want to catch. And now, this time, the Mira, a little bit different, going for the War Axe first item. So the next fight, they don't have to wait for the Lord Dance for the Terizla to deal damage. Now even the third Turtle, they're going to be doing quite well.
And Cassie keeping up. We did just have the Blade of Hepates as well. Lock onto Ku, so there goes a nice little burst of damage. Ku was already able to secure a kill earlier. Violet, though, going to get tossed up. Going to toss up Cassie, that is, but still, Net Angels taking it slow, and I think that's kind of in their favor here, right? I mean, as long as they don't fall behind too much, as long as they're able to keep this gold to 500 here and there, they should be okay.
I mean, here's the thing. What are you fighting for, right? Turtle's not there. Even if you get a kill, you can't really get a turret, so there's really no real reason for you to pick a fight other than just to flex. And being as everyone is so far apart, you're not gonna be having a confirmed kill anyway. So I feel like this is good coming in from Net Angels. They understand there's nothing really for you to fight for. Now this top turret though, if they can get it, it's gonna be pretty good.
Ooh, they're going to try to rush down onto this bot turret, though. Team Falcons Vega always have a read for themselves. A lot of damage, no escape for this one. Namira going to go down. Funi gets the kill up in the top side, though. Net Angels also... Oh! Melee finds one, all on her own, up against 3. Can she escape from this, though? The Retribution does pop for Vanilla. Try to make sure they get it. Yes, Ku gets the shutdown. A kill into the pocket of the Roamer. Don't know if that's primary, but it does still work out. Falcons Vega, though, still always finding something on the map in return.
Well, Ku is still up top. If Ku can get that, well, she's not gonna. I mean, just to answer your question, I feel like it's fine for Ku to get the kill here because you want to get your items a little bit faster. So it's fine, right? This is a niche situation that she's in. It's okay. Now
She still needs to do damage.
She still needs to do damage. And now, Net Angels, you gotta choose. Do you want to go for this turtle or do you want to go for the fight? Looks like, looking at how they're spacing around, even they're not entirely sure. Maybe they just want to wait for the Lord to come out.
Very true. I mean, I think Net Angels, on the other hand, might want to try to force this, right? They need if they can get a little bit more gold, could be dangerous, though. Duality could get procced, pulling a couple people together, and that could be a wrap, right? Namira's been doing a decent job of landing these penalty zones, though. So if Namira can maybe pull something off, could be a game changer.
Although I do have to, Tal finds 3 members, but Tal has to flicker out. Oh, they go back in.
Ooh, Minoan's Fury, though, does get the knock up. In comes the Demonic Force. Cassie able to secure the kill. It's going to be 1 down for Team Falcons Vega. Namira flickers back, is safe. Tower's going down. Up on the top side, looks like Ku could be getting something. A beautiful split push.
Yeah, this is good because they understand they need a turret. They don't really need all of this lores just yet because they know that they can control it quite well. Oh, Violet, maybe out of position here.
Taking a lot of damage, but there goes a wasted enhanced chains and a lot of damage on a Net Angels from that Lord. Cassie's got to go back to base.
Right now, the only question is, when can Ku start 1v1? Because I feel like once the item is there, she will probably go for the Harif, as she's doing right now.
Yeah, ooh, but Herod, Jinja, it's a lot of damage. Ku, got to get out of town, run away quickly. That's a tough, I mean,
That was a
Jinja's not, Ku's not quite there yet.
Yeah, it was tough. It's like, okay, let me see
Slapbox.
if I have enough damage. Okay, I don't. But next time, though,
Next time I see you,
next time I see
going
you,
down.
you're gonna be chin nah.
Chin nah,
Like
bruh.
no.
Chin
Like,
no. Chin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's look at these items.
Yeah. Going for the Holy Crystal here. Now we see the disparity when it comes to gold. 5.4 to 6.8. That's like 1,400 difference. So, okay, now it's a bit of trouble. But still, going for that third item, the Claude should be fine. The only worry is that the Hayabusa is going to do a lot. Oh, they're going for Vanilla. Vanilla escapes it. Namira, can you escape as well? No, you're going in.
Namira's going to sacrifice herself for the case of Vanilla. Vanilla might have been able to get away from that, though, but now Cassie also in a bad spot. Demonic Force does proc 1v4. Vanilla, maybe look for the re-engage. No, turn around, Vanilla. Get out of town. Ku, though, does get the split push on the top side, so helps balance things out a little bit.
Yeah, but that was unnecessary, man.
Yeah.
Like, the moment you see Vanilla is fine, if you want the penalty zone, you penalty zone away. And then at that point, Cassie should just be like, nah, fam, I'm not joining this one. And because of that, it's a free Lord for Team Falcons Vega. That was quite a big mistake coming in from Net Angels.
Chin, nah, fam.
Nah, fam. Yeah, chin, nah, fam.
Not today.
And now
Alright.
Team Falcons Vega, they are in prime position, especially with the Lord here. The Claude, I feel like, doesn't have his third item. So with just 2 items, it's going to be quite difficult for him to defend the base as well.
Well, the damage dealt. Phoveus still outputting. They just need a little bit more behind it. Radiant Armor just locked in for Namira here. Lord's going to be coming down mid. Net Angels, I definitely think they can stop, maybe, since they have the Claude, might not lose any inhibitors here.
No, I feel like it's... Okay, now Ku has quite a bit of items. I still feel like it's not going to be enough to handle Chincha. But, oh, looks like someone got picked off. Namira taking quite a bit of damage. Zaman Force already used by Chincha just to secure that tier 2.
Yeah, good try with the diversion. Not quite able to secure the full kill, though, and that's 2 ultimates down for the side of Team Falcons Vega. Net Angels might just be able to defend this, but there goes Sikoshi. Taken out quickly. Ku still with the split pushing, letting the rest of the team defend this Lord. Chincha looking for the angle as well. Cassie does not proc the Demonic Force, just play it safe, because Ku's handling business on the other side of the map. The wave's still crashing in. Ku now back onto the map, looking for Chincha, gets tossed up, knocked up, almost taken out, down to the last health bar, but in comes Cassie with the Demonic Force. Will it be enough? Looking for the kill. The all finally goes down. They want some more, but Cassie taking way too much damage. Chincha reaping the benefits. Violet now also low. Ku looks for another target. Got the health bars back. Wants to re-engage onto the fight. Ku able to find Melee with a quick tap. No, Melee actually gets a kill onto Ku. Chincha now with his Zaman's Force. Can they end it here? It's nothing but Vanilla and Sikoshi on the field. Minions still coming. Melee is low. Blazing Duet does come out. Violet low as well, but Chincha's getting the free shots, and that's the final one. Team Falcons Vega with a clean 2-0 sweep.
Falcons Vega drafted beautifully, having the Minotaur, having the Luyi, having the